Hey guys, Pitmaster here. Gonna ask some martial arts questions, but I got a couple that are kind of off the cuff. I had one of my guys ask me about mutual combat, and if two guys want to fight, can they just fight? Um, that's a yes and no question. What about? That's a yes and no question. Let's go with the no first. If you're in a bar and you don't like some guy or you guys are arguing and you say, let's go outside. In the old days, you could do that. In fact, I never once got in trouble for fighting at school, and I fought at school quite a few times, high school and junior high school. But in this day and age, you get in school a fight at school. I mean, you're suspended, expelled. You're gonna be you're gonna be given the water board. I mean, you're in trouble. You can't get in a fight. Look at the dogs. Hold on. Doggies, what are you guys doing? Anyway, I mean, in the old days, yeah, like I said, you can get in fights. You just can't do that anymore. That's a no-no, and I don't know if that's good or bad. I think there's more bad to that than good. I think it encourages bullying more than not, because the good guy, just like when you're carrying a gun and they cut off guns, the good guys won't carry them, the bad guys will. You cut off fighting at school, the good guys will listen and the bad guys won't. So the bullies will still pick on people, and then the people that even would or could fight back otherwise won't, because they're abiding by the rules and they don't want to get suspended. So so that at school, no, you can't do that anymore. Like we could meet at the back campus and fight. And then if the teacher came, they'd break it up and send us back to school, class. And I do think that's the way it should be, and that's a whole different story in itself. But if you meet a guy in a bar and you guys are arguing and you go outside, what's up, Rusty? I thought you were coming last week. Anyway, if you meet a guy in a bar and you're going to fight, you want to fight, and you go outside, you can fight, but if the cops come, you're going to get arrested. You'll probably both get arrested. And it's usually from what I hear, is the one that gets hurt the most goes to the hospital. The one that doesn't goes to jail. But it's illegal for both of you. It's illegal. Well, you should be doing this with me here live. Anyway, it's illegal for both of you. You're not allowed to fight in public. That's like, there's so many penal codes against that. And I mean, you can't win. I mean, and if you win the fight, you'll go to jail. If you lose the fight, you're going to go to the hospital or die. And it's a no-win situation. So no, you can't do it. I'll tell you how you can, though. I mean, you can bring a guy to the gym, have him sign a waiver, and fight with him at a gym. I mean, if two guys want to fight, they can go to a boxing gym or an MMA gym or a karate gym. If you're a member, and if your instructor lets you, have the guy sign a waiver, and then you can fight. Okay, that's assumed risk. I mean, I've never seen anyone sue anyone in a boxing gym or a martial arts gym, but let me tell you, there's a but there, and this can happen. Anyone can sue anyone at any time, even signing the waiver. Okay, I'll risk that every day, 7 days a week. I'll never risk a guy challenging me to a fight in a bar. If a guy attacks me, I'm going to defend myself, but I'll never step outside and fight a guy outside. It's just, that's a no-win, and that's stupid. That's just completely stupid. But I'll have a guy sign a waiver. I have a pretty impressive waiver. I mean, the waiver that I have for that is, and I mean, anybody knows the pit knows that. I mean, especially in the old days, our sparring was pretty brutal. I mean, it was pretty brutal. But for my sparring waiver, which I had a sparring waiver and a fitness class waiver, my sparring waiver read like, it says, you know, that I not only, how some waivers say, there's a chance you might get this, this, and this, and this. My waiver said, there's not only a chance you will get hurt by sparring, you will get hurt sparring. I guarantee it. And I accept that responsibility myself. And it said, sparring by nature is a very violent and dangerous activity. It was, and then my newest waiver said all that about the sparring, but also said there is a lot of cussing if you're easily offended by cuss words and sexual harassment, yada, yada, yada. I will not train here. I know it's by signing this waiver. I understand that. I had a pretty impressive waiver in the day. Now it's possible. No, I did say possibility of death. Yeah, I said you will not only get hurt. There's a possibility you'll die. I mean, so my sparring waiver. I mean, I felt confident with it. I felt very confident that if somebody got hurt badly and they took me to court, I could show the judge that waiver, and the judge would read and say, wait, this waiver says that for a fact you're going to get hurt. And, so the judge will say, why would you sign this, if you didn't know you're going to get hurt? Because some people's waiver, there's a slight chance you might maybe at an off chance get hurt. Then they go to the gym and they get hurt and they bring it to court, and the judge, they can say, well, the instructor was really too hard on me and he wasn't watching and he wasn't watching, he wasn't paying attention and I ended up, he put me with a guy that was too advanced, so I got hurt. And then they can take that to court. I mean, my waiver says you will get hurt, maybe even die if you spar. So it's hard to take that one to the judge and say, well, he didn't have a guy that, he put him in with a guy that was too tough for me and the instructor wasn't watching or paying attention. And the judge will look at it and go, but it says right here, by signing this, for a fact you're going to get hurt or killed. So anyway, that's my waiver. So with that said, if you want to do that, if you're an instructor or you belong to a school and your instructor lets you do that, to me, that's the only way that you should have mutual combat. I'm doing the quotes. I don't know why. Like I'm doing both at the same time because I'm holding my iPhone with one hand while I'm doing this. So if I did air quotes with both sides, I drop the phone. So I'm trying to do them both sides at the same time. So I'm saying, if you mutual combat, it's a stupid thing. It's a stupid thing. Don't do it. It's moronic. If you really hate someone and you want to get into it with them, take them to a gym, a legit gym. If there's anyone in Arroyo Grande, you're welcome to do that at my gym. I'll sign waivers. If two guys, and I'm not trying to get violence, I'm just saying, if two guys hate each other that much, they're going to fight. I'd rather they fight in a gym with matted floor so they don't bonk their head and die of a hematoma, or there's someone there that can stop it so there's not, when some guy hits the ground, the anger takes over and he starts soccer kicking his head and kills the guy. I'd rather two guys just beef it out, shake hands and say, all right, you kicked my ass, but let's let bygones be bygones, okay? So that's the answer to your question, Larry. Mutual combat, no. Fight in a gym where there's some rules, some semblance of rules, and a matted floor. Okay,